So members, I think...
While chairing a meeting of the National Policy Committee on Environment on Tuesday, Prime Minister Robin Anabanja said government had resolved to cancel all permits and licenses issued for timber harvesting from forests.
We are stopping the issuance of licenses, and the impact assessment licenses or permits to all our investors who have been harvesting the forest products across the country.
The Prime Minister said cancellation followed the failure by some investors to add value to the timber as expected and their indiscriminate cutting down of trees without replacement.
Because they have not been adding value to our products. Yet the licenses were given with hope that these people will add value for our forest products.
The Uganda Timber Growers Association has welcomed the ban, however noting that it has some gaps.
Yet it's ambiguous because it's an open, it's a blanket directive affecting, because when you say you're banning export of timber, you're banning the harvesting of trees. It means that you're directly impinging on our business. So it means that when we grow the trees and the trees mature, we cannot cut them. They need to understand how we plant and grow trees, and then work with us to enforce.
Dennis Kavuma, the association's general manager, maintains that the increase in the forest cover from 9% in 2015 to the current 13% is a contribution of the private sector players engaged in commercial farming, and as such, a blanket ban will also affect them and reverse the gains.
We are able to provide timber from plantations, provide fuel wood, which is charcoal and firewood, and provide poles. So that we Ugandans stop harvesting those from the natural forests. That was a good thing. Now, any directives or policies that go against that now hurt the good the progress now that we're experiencing.
The Deputy Executive Director of Advocates Coalition for Development and Environment, Onesmus Mujenyi, says while the ban is well-intentioned, the Prime Minister's statement lacked clarity.
We haven't known exactly the kind of timber or timber types that are going to be prohibited. But if we take the directive in its entirety, you realize that it may be very difficult, actually, one, to enforce, because you already have people who have contracts.
In his 21st June directive, President Museveni was concerned that there is indiscriminate harvesting of forests in the country, whether private or public, due to the export of timber. In the directive, a copy of which NTV has seen, the President said, I quote, "I am told that there are over 40 small factories cutting, stripping and exporting timber, leaving the entire land bare. This practice should stop immediately." He goes on to say, only factories processing timber within Uganda for plywood, boards, furniture and other products should be allowed to operate. Meanwhile, forest governance expert Dr. Patrick Byakagaba says exporting timber is provided for under the law, explaining the implications of the directive.
What I am aware of is put a ban on exporting forest products where we've not added value, particularly veneer. He still believes, which and rightly so, that we should be exporting products where we've added value, since we are growing in these trees. Products like graded timber, things like particle boards, and also plywoods.
He calls on tree farmers and investors to support the President's efforts to protect the environment by promoting value addition before export.
It will require us to coordinate efforts, both at the national level but also at the district level. Because I think currently that's the biggest challenge, because you have the regulator who is in the ministry. He or she might not be visible at the district level, and that creates a gap in the enforcement of such a ban.
It remains to be seen how the directive will be implemented, given the short notice that the timber exporters have been given to comply. Benjamin Jumbe, NTV.